we are recording this. So basically, we will be talking about the BCDR. BCDR is Business Continuity Disaster Recovery, and then we will be talking about the migrations, right? Okay, then we'll be talking about the migration. So this is all we will be talking about in this particular course, right? And we will also help you to prepare for the interview. So I'm sure most of you would like to switch your roles, or most of you would like to start your role in the cloud. So we can also help you out with the interview preparation, that what kind of a questions you may expect during the interviews, right? How you should plan your interviews. Yes, during training, Vishnu, we would be able to, yeah, during training, we would be able to share the documents, not right now. And is it going to be a paid course? Yes, it is going to be a paid course. There will be a small fee involved. For that particular part, maybe you can reach out to Amit. He is the right person who would be able to help you regarding the onboarding for the actual training, right? Okay. Vishnu, as I mentioned, you can get in touch with Amit. He's the right guy. I'll share his contact details as well. So you can reach out to him. He's the right guy who would be able to help you. I can help you with the technical questions. He's the right guy who would be able to help you with the onboarding for this particular course. We'll talk all about that, right? So this is what we will discuss in this particular course technically. Now, what are the benefits you will get along with this course? We will help you with the project-based real-time training. We will be providing Azure Pass. With the help of this, you would be able to perform your labs. We will help you with the interview preparation, as I mentioned, right? How you can crack your Azure interviews. And we can have a mock call as well. Mock call is like before you actually appear for the interview, we can take your mock call. Like, for example, let's say you have your interview plan after 5 days from now. So we can have a mock call. In the mock call, we will try to have the similar environment that you will have during your interview. So maybe we can try to ask some questions and you can answer the questions as you will be answering during your interview. With the help of this mock call, you will come to know where exactly you stand, how much preparation is required, or are you prepared enough to clear the interview, right? Okay. And then, as I mentioned, we will be providing you study materials and we will also be providing you exam dumps. So study materials, so that whatever we will be discussing in the everyday session or whatever we will be discussing in the weekend sessions, you would be able to read from the study material. And exam dumps, anyone who will be appearing for the certification, with the help of exam dumps, it will give you an edge to clear the certification exam easily. So with the help of exam dumps, you'll come to know that what kind of a questions will be asked during the interview. So these things will help you in reading in day-to-day life regarding the technology that we will be discussing during the training, and exam dumps will help you out in clearing the certification exam. So these are the complementary benefits that you will get. Okay. Now, before we come to this question and the answers round, let me give you a brief introduction, or let me give you a brief gist that how actual training is going to be. So what I'll try to do right now is I'll try to explain you one topic, right? I'll try to explain you one topic, and with the help of that topic, you will come to know that how actual training is going to be, right? Guys, regarding this piece part, okay, Hari, please hold on for a while. I'll provide you the Amit's number. He would be able to help you out, right? This is something which you can discuss personally with him. So I'll share the contact details. Hold on for a while. Let's have a technical discussion. Then we will come to the fee structure part as well. Probably I would be able to share you the contact details. He's the right guy who would be able to help you out. Sending messages in the chat probably would not help here, right? So let's hold on for a while. Okay, now let me give you a small gist that how actual training is going to be, right? I'll explain you one particular topic. Okay. See guys, as we will be talking about Azure in this particular training, so let me explain you the Azure architecture. It's a very basic part. Whenever we have any technology, each and every technology has some architectures. Similarly, Azure has got some architectures too. In fact, Azure has got two types of architecture. One is what we called as physical architecture, and one is what we called as logical architecture. So these are two types of architecture that Azure provides. Right? These are two types of architecture that Azure provides. Okay, Rohit, as I mentioned, I'll give you time to have the question and the answer round. So I think maybe you can hold your question for a while. I think I will answer all your queries. What is the job scenario for cloud rules? I'll answer this query as well. Just hold on for a while, right? Let's focus on what we are discussing. When we will have the question and the answer round, we will focus on your questions in, right? So let's go one by one. As a result of that, we can have some fruitful output, right? Okay. So basically, whenever we talk about any technology, every technology has some architectures. One is we have physical architecture, one is we have logical architecture. Now, what is physical architecture? What is logical architecture? What is Azure? Azure is nothing but a public cloud, right? Traditionally, what organizations used to do, traditionally, organizations used to deploy their own data centers. Within their organization premises, they used to deploy their own data centers, right? So first of all, they used to finalize a place. Then they used to procure the hardware. Then they used to set up and then they used to configure that hardware. Then they used to set up the networking, cooling, power, electricity. And then they are able to deploy their resources in their data centers. So whenever I used a word called as resources, I'm trying to say virtual machines, networks, virtual networks, databases, firewall, etc., etc., etc. There is a long list. So after deploying their data center, they would be able to deploy their resources. Now, for a small organization and even for a big size organization, it is not possible to have multiple data centers. Creating a data center involves huge amount of money. Huge amount of money you have to spend upfront. And then slowly and gradually over a period of years, you would be able to recover that amount. You would be able to use that amount. Microsoft says you don't need to do that. You don't need to spend money upfront. What Microsoft has done, Microsoft is providing us a public cloud. Microsoft public cloud is Azure. So what Microsoft has done, Microsoft has deployed data centers across the globe. They have deployed data centers across the globe. And now there is no need for us to create our own data centers. We can simply use Microsoft data center, right? See guys, if I give you a layman terms example, very, very layman terms example, let's say I have to go from one city to another city. What I do, I catch a flight. There is an organization who is providing us flying services, right? We can book a flight. So some organization has got its aircrafts. They have hired pilots. They have hired crew members. And as a result of that, they are able to take us from one city to another city. Do I need to have my own airplane? No, I can simply use their services. Similarly, here, Microsoft is saying you don't need to spend huge amount of money in order to build your own data center. They have built the data centers and you can simply use their data centers, right? We have to pay an amount and we would be able to use their data centers. That is what public cloud is. Now, when Microsoft has deployed data centers, they would have deployed data centers at some physical locations. That is what comes under physical architecture. In physical architecture, at the very top, we have got something called as regions. What is region? Region is basically a place where Microsoft has deployed the data centers. If I give you an example, let's say I live in India. Microsoft has deployed some data centers in India, right? Let's say in India, there is a city called as Mumbai, right? In Mumbai city, they have deployed some data centers. Now within Mumbai, they would have choose a particular place where they would have deployed the data center. That particular place where they have deployed the data centers, they will call it as a region. So Azure has got 60 plus regions and it is providing services across 140 countries. So those 60 plus regions, Vishnu, it's just an overview. I'm not planning to start the session from today. I'm just giving you a gist how training is going to be, right? So Azure has got 60 plus region and it is providing you services across 140 countries. Region is nothing but group of data centers which are in close proximity with each other. The names of some regions are East US, West US, UK South, South India, and so on. These are the names of some regions, etc., etc., etc. We have a long list, right? So what is region? Nothing but group of data centers. In one region, minimum we will have 2 data centers and maximum we can have multiple data centers. So minimum there will be 2 and maximum there can be multiple data centers. After regions, we have got something called as availability zones, right? After regions, we have got something called as availability zones. Now team, we need to remember 3 points regarding availability zones. Point number 1, we discussed we have got 60 plus regions. All the regions do not contain availability zone. All these 60 plus regions do not contain availability zone. Out of 60 plus region, approximately 25 to 28 regions contains availability zone, right? Approximately 25 to 28 regions contains availability zone. Question that may come across your mind is, how will you identify that which region contain availability zone and which region do not contain availability zone? It is very simple. I can share you a link. If you go through that link, you can easily figure it out which region contain availability zone and which region do not contain availability zone. So I have shared that link in the chat window. So when you go through that link, it clearly says here availability zones, services and region support. If you scroll down a bit, you can clearly see here Azure regions with availability zone support. So these are the names of the regions which contains availability zone. As I mentioned, out of 60 plus region, approximately 25-28 regions contains availability zone. You can calculate them as well. Point number 2, any region, see East US is one of the region. Any region that contain availability zone will have 3 availability zones. So East US is a region which contains availability zone. It will have 3 availability zone. Availability zone 1, availability zone 2, and availability zone 3. So any region that contain availability zone will have 3 availability zones. Point number 3, what is the benefit of availability zone? With the help of availability zone, we can achieve better redundancy. Better redundancy can be achieved with the help of availability zones. So these are the 3 points that we need to remember. So let me repeat the points again. So point number 1 was, out of 60 plus regions, all the region do not contain availability zone. Point number 2, any region that contain availability zone will have 3 zones, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Point number 3, any region, what is the benefit of availability zone? With the help of availability zone, we can achieve better redundancy. Better redundancy can be achieved. After availability zones, we will have something called as data centers. Right? We will have something called as data centers. As we discussed, in every region, minimum we will have 2 data centers, maximum we can have multiple data centers. So in every region, minimum there will be 2 and maximum there can be multiple data centers. And in every data center, we will have multiple racks. Racks are the places where actually the resources will be hosted. So in every region, we will have multiple racks. I'm sure all of you would have seen data centers, but if anyone has not seen data center, let me show you here. How does the rack look like? So we can just type here data center image. So when we go to this data center image, we can pick up any image from here. Like, let's say I pick up this particular one. So in this image, what we can see a lot of boxes are there, which looks like this Almira type. So these boxes are nothing but the racks. These are the actual places where some resources will be hosted. Okay? These are the actual places where the resources will be hosted. So this is how the physical architecture of the Azure will look like. Right? This is how the physical architecture of the Azure will look like. So that is how we will discuss things in actual training as well. In the actual training, we will not have so many people. So basically, after every 10 to 15 minutes discussion, I will give you a chance to ask your queries. Whatever queries you will have, we can discuss your queries after every 10-15 minutes so that we can clear your doubts then and there. Right? Okay, now what I'll do is I'll provide you the contact details of Amit, and I'll open this question and the answer on for you as well. So guys, this is the gentleman who would be able to help you with the onboarding for this particular training. Gentleman's name is Amit. Here we have the contact details of Amit. So you can reach out to him and he would be able to help you with the training onboarding, right? So what I'm doing, I'm also sharing his number in the chat window so that you can easily pick it up from there. Okay, so I have shared his contact details on the chat window as well. So you can reach out to him and he would be able to help you with the onboarding process, right? Now, okay, do we have offline? Santosh, we do not have the offline classes in Bangalore, but if in case your organization need offline classes, we can arrange that, right? So let's say we have group of people and they need the offline classes, that can certainly be arranged. But it depends how many people are there. Right? So if you have a strength of 15-20 people or 10 to 15 people, we can certainly arrange the offline sessions in Bangalore as well. Rahul, sessions are going to be weekend as well as weekdays. So depending upon your availability, you would be able to enroll you for the weekday or for the weekend session. Aisha's, we do provide training on Terraform and Chef. We are running one course that is Azure DevOps. On those part, we are covering this Terraform part as well. So we do provide that, but it is not a part of AZ-305. It's a part of a different training altogether. So we do provide trainings on these courses as well. Right? Guys, earlier I believe all of you have some questions. Now it is the right time to ask your questions. So whatever questions you have, either you can put that into the chat window, or if in case you want, you can raise your hands. I can unmute yourself and I can help you out with your queries. Any offline classes in Pune? Okay, how can you enroll for that? Aisha, I just shared the contact details of Amit. I'm sharing it again. He's the right person who would be able to help you with the onboarding part. I have shared his contact details in the chat window. Please reach out to him. He can help you with the onboarding part. This training would be on Azure. Absolutely, Hemant. With the help of this training, we will be covering everything from scratch. We will be starting from scratch and we will be covering the advanced concepts as well. Landing zone will be covered in this training. Kaleem, absolutely correct. Landing zone will be covered in this particular training. Okay, job market for this year for cloud courses. See, Rohit, once you go through this particular training, which profiles you can opt for? See, once you go with this particular training, you can easily apply for the cloud engineer role. You can also apply for the cloud administrator or the Azure administrator. And actually, we are helping you prepare for the Azure architect role. So if you just type here Azure architect, let's say salary package in India. So I'll show you 2-3 countries. So in India, it basically ranges somewhere from 11.4 to 40 LPA, right? That is for the people who are from India. So it ranges somewhere around 11.4 to 40 LPA. The average annual salary goes around 25.5 lakhs, right? That is only for India. If I say the same thing for US, right? So it goes somewhere around 1,55,000 or 155,000 per year. So you can go up to this particular part, right? So it has got a huge scope. I completely understand nowadays layoffs are going on, but layoffs usually happen for those people who are not highly skilled. So if you are highly skilled in the cloud, even if in case a layoff happens, you can easily grab another opportunity because a lot of organizations are still hiring the cloud engineers, the cloud architects, the cloud administrators, right? So this cloud market is growing like anything, and you can easily place yourself in a good position. Okay, what we would be able to achieve. Okay, let's go one by one. I think we have lot many questions here. Okay, I'll just take questions one by one. So job market for this year for cloud roles. So I hope I answer your query. What will be the benefit this course for QA? I'm not sure, Praveen, what exactly your question is. What we will be able to achieve by the end of the day. What we would be able to achieve by the end of the course, Aisha, you will be highly skilled on the Azure part. We will discuss a lot of concepts in Azure. Plus, we will be doing a lot of labs with the help of which you can apply for good positions in Azure, Azure admin positions, Azure architect positions. So basically, you would be able to make yourself as the Azure certified solution architect expert. That is something you can achieve with the help of this training. Where can we find the detailed course content, the topics which we are going to cover? I have shared you the Amit contact detail. You can ask for the detailed content, what exactly we are going to cover in this particular course. So he would be able to help you with the course content part. I am sharing you his number again, so he can help you with the course content part, right? Will the session help us for security related concept? Ankit, security is one of the pillar of any design. So we will be covering security as well. It will definitely help you out with the security related concepts. What is the charge of this training? Please get in touch with Amit. He's the right guy to help you with the onboarding and with the course fee part. It would complete end-to-end like networking, security, firewalls also. Yes, Hemant, it's a part of this course. Networking, security, firewall, network security group, application security group, virtual networking, DDoS protection, a lot of things we'll be going to cover. What about UAE? We do sessions in morning and evening as per Indian Standard Time. Kaleem, you would be able to attend weekend or weekday sessions, and basically you can share your availability with Amit and he can place you in the right batch. That according to your timings, you would be able to attend the sessions. We also record the session so that if in case on a given day you miss any particular session, you would be able to go through the recording and you would be able to grab everything that you have missed on that particular day. Aisha, regarding the pricing, please get in touch with Amit. He's the right guy who can help you with the pricing part. Ramesh, in every session, we do a lot of labs. So first I explain things theoretically, then at the same time, I try to demonstrate the labs as well. I try to demonstrate the labs part as well at the same time, right? So we do a lot of labs in this particular course as well. How does Azure help in testing? Is it 303, 305? We will be covering 305. Irshad, 303 has expired. Now we will be covering 305, not 303. Okay, how does Azure help in testing? See, for testing, there are different tools. If you want to do testing in Azure, you can do that. For that, you need to cover some other courses too. For example, you can cover DevOps as well. Then you would be able to cover up this testing piece as well. Do we need to have any programming language as a prerequisite? Not required. It is not required to have the programming language. Duration of this particular training, it's going to be a 20 to 24 hours training. 20 to 24 hours, we would be able to cover up this content, right? It will take somewhere around 20 to 24 hours. I have joined, can you please, Prasad, if you have joined just now, it is not a developer course. Is it an architect course? It is the Azure architect course. It is not a developer course. And if you have joined just now, you can ask for the recording. With the help of recording, you can get the entire session. Uh, See, session is going to be on weekdays. We do 1 hour session every day. On weekends, we do 2 hour session on Saturday and Sunday. So on weekends, 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday. That is the duration. Does AZ-104 topics will be covered? Yes, Abhishek, we will be covering AZ-104 topics as well. 95% of the AZ-104 topics will be covered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anurag, if you are from the development background, if you also get the good understanding of infrastructure, you will be placed in a better position. So you already have the development experience. If you also get exposure on the infrastructure side, you will be better placed. Absolutely. How will I get demo test? We provide the demo test after the training so that participants would be able to prepare themselves for the certification exam. So post training, we help them with the demo tests, right? Kaleem, I will be taking care of this training since I am doing this particular session right now. So I will be the one who will be doing this particular training, right? All right. I can help you out with some projects. I would be able to provide you some projects, some labs, which you would be able to do. See, not only for migration, I will be providing projects for everything, for networking, for security, for migration, for application. Lot of projects I will be providing. It's not like only for migration, right? Training will be starting probably from next weekend. So you can enroll yourself for the training. So from next weekend, we will be starting with this particular training sessions, right? Absolutely. Your name is reflecting here, Samsung SM. Absolutely. A fresher can also get benefit from this training. Reason is we will be starting this training from a scratch. We will be starting from a very scratch model. Then we will be covering or we will be touching the advanced topics, right? So from scratch, we will be covering everything till advanced topics. Ashutosh Mishra, please get in touch with Amit. He's the right guy who can help you with the piece part. Right. Your name is reflecting with the name Galaxy A3. The training would be enough to get the architect job, provided that you work hard as well. Whatever will be taught during the training, you have to do the revision multiple times. Whatever documents, Microsoft Docs I will be sharing, you have to read those documents well. Whatever lab links I will be sharing, you have to perform those labs well. If you do all these things thoroughly and diligently, you will be in a good position to crack the architect interview as well, provided that you also work hard, right? Okay, so what should be the system requirement? Ajay, we will be doing all the labs in cloud. So even if in case your PC is 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM, it would be enough. Reason is we would not be doing the labs in your laptops. Most of the labs we will be performing in cloud. So we just need to have a basic system so that we can connect to the internet and we would be able to perform the labs on cloud. So 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM would be enough to perform all the labs. Absolutely, Anup. It's always good to keep enhancing your skills. Even I recommend all my participants, if in case you have learned one cloud, let's say you have learned Azure, you should not stop onto Azure. After that, maybe you can jump to AWS, maybe you can jump to GCP. And if in case you would be able to learn a single cloud, learning second or third cloud would be like a cakewalk. Easily you would be able to grab the concepts because concepts remain same. It is just that the naming convention will be different. If I give you a layman terms example, there are multiple organizations who is selling burgers, right? So now, similarly here, there are multiple organizations who is selling cloud services. If you have understood the cloud concept well, you can easily learn the second or the third cloud, right? All right, so I think all your questions have been answered. Will you provide future notes for all these three certification? Absolutely. I will be providing you notes. I will be providing you Microsoft docs. I will be providing you the exam dumps for all three courses, for fundamentals, for administration, as well as for Azure architect and designing, or which we can call that AZ-305. I will be providing you notes, docs, and dumps for all these three courses, right? We'll be helping you out with all the three courses. Okay, so looks like we have answered all your queries. I do not see any further questions. So guys, if any one of you have any questions, please feel free to ask, or else I think we are good. Ankit, you have to appear for the certification in the Microsoft. Like there is something called as Pearson View. You can appear for the certification from there, and Microsoft gives you the certificate. Microsoft gives you the certificate, right? It's a Microsoft certification. As an organization, we can only provide you the attendance certificate. But when you clear the actual exam, Microsoft is the organization who provide you the certificates, right? You will automatically get those certificates on your email. Okay. So guys, again, I'm sharing the MS contact details. If anyone has missed his contact details, please enroll yourself for this particular training. Look forward to see you all, and we will be starting soon, right? So I think that is all for mine for today. We do not have any further questions, so I think we can call it a day. It was, can we have course topics? Yes, Abhishek, you can get the, see, I tried to show you the course topics here. Let me show that to you again. So this is what we will be covering: governance, compute, storage, non-relational, relational, data integration, application architecture, authentication, authorization, monitoring, networks, VCDR, migration. If in case you would like to get a detailed course content, please reach out to Amit. He will share you the detailed course content, right? He will share you the detailed course content. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Stay safe. I am stopping the screen sharing. I am stopping the technical recording as well. ISC will be covered. Absolutely. We will be covering ISC in detail. Kajal, ISC will be covered and we will be covering that in detail.